Hi, and welcome to your weekly Oracle reading with Katie VanZeeland. This reading is for the week of October 15th through the 21st, 2018. And again, I'm not using cards, just sharing messages that have been given to me, that I've been receiving. And this week, what I've been hearing is, or for the week, what I've been hearing is the word dissolve. And such a beautiful word in a lot of ways. And what I've been hearing is that we've all come from creation. We've all come from God. We've all come from infinite creation. And we all return to infinite creation. We all return back to God. We all return back to Spirit. We are this unique spark, but we return back, we dissolve back. And not only do we, right, and what does we even mean? Because some of you, when you hear we, you just think of your physical body. Well, yes, that's one part that dissolves back eventually, right? Your body will eventually dissolve back into the earth. But our spirit, our ego, all the little aspects of ourselves, all the little definitions that we have lived through this life claiming and thinking depict who we are, they all dissolve back to creation. And not only do we physically, mentally, emotionally come from and then dissolve back, but also our thoughts, like any fears, any resistance, any stories, any programs, all of those dissolve back as well. And so we're really just being aware of that this week. Can you mindfully try to dissolve parts of your ego? Let's start there. And notice when we say ego, what we're hearing is can you dissolve, can you let go of, can you surrender the parts of you that think define who you are? Examples might be mother, father, a great worker, your job, your career, things you do. Maybe you like to ride horses or bikes or do yoga or, there's lots of things, right, that we are all partaking in. Maybe, and then a career, like maybe you're a teacher, maybe you do something that you're really good at or you're really bad at. It doesn't matter. None of it is who you are. These are just things that you're doing right now. And even those things dissolve away, dissolve back. Everything does. Your whole entire essence on this planet dissolves back into creation. And if we can meditate on that and allow any resistance that comes up from the ego, but I'm this, but I can't let go of that, well, my world will fall apart if I let go of this. That's all fear. That's all fear. All of those but ifs and all of that resistance, all of that control feeling that I have to or else is a lie. It's false. And can you play with it? Just noticing it. That's where we start. We just notice where we even do it. Well, I can't let go of this. Well, I can't let anyone know that. I have to keep this as a shield for people to see. That's fine, but just notice that it's there. Doesn't mean that you don't put on the hat and go to work. It doesn't mean you don't put on the hat and the role of a mom, of a father, of a brother, of a sister, of an aunt, okay? But you mindfully do it, and you're not so attached to it. So we need to first and foremost dissolve. Realize that all of this dissolves back to infinite creation. It all dissolves back. And when we play with that idea, there's a freedom, there's a like a non-resistant peace that just kind of starts to overtake. Because you don't have that pressure to uphold these illusions, these lies, these things that you think you need to keep in place in order to survive. But it's a process, and it's not easy, and it's just one that we want to start to become aware of. Maybe you already are aware of it and you're already playing with it, but meditate on or play with the energy of being able to dissolve and allow that resistance to dissolve, and know that even the resistance will eventually dissolve. So even if you're resisting anything, or if you're fighting like, oh, I can't let go, or I'm really uncomfortable, or I'm still doing it, and you're pounding on yourself, that's normal, and I really hope that you don't stay there long. But if you do, that's okay. That too will dissolve. That too will dissolve. That pounding, that resistance, that judgment, that shame, it will dissolve. It's not real either. So if we can just bring that into our awareness, bring that into our truth, and know that all of that dissolves, there's a pressure that releases, right? That this is just what we're doing. Sometimes we're fighting, sometimes we're in shame, and that will dissolve back into infinite creation. That will dissolve back to God. That will dissolve back to Spirit. And it's divine timing. So you pushing it, maybe you don't want to do that either, but if you do, that too will dissolve. So play with the word dissolve, and know that you can surrender into dissolving into infinite creation. That's where you came from. That's where you're going to end up. All the other things that you've placed in all the other stories, all they are there doing is separating you from that truth. All those they're doing is separating you from that truth of accepting that we will be dissolving back. We are all one. We are all part of it. And when we can start to play with that and find where our ego grabs and where we resist, and allowing that truth to kind of take over and float to the surface more and more, you're still going to have your little battles. We're human beings. We have little egos. That's what it's going to be, right? There's nothing wrong with you. That's what we're here doing. We have these little egos. We have these personas, and that's fantastic. But first we need to separate from them and know that we're way more than those personas and roles, before we can just kind of be in them without any attachment to them defining who we are, right? Once we detach and dissolve, then we can still play the roles, but we know that we aren't the roles. We can enjoy the roles because we don't really care. We're not that attached to the roles, but they can be fun, right? And we can enjoy life through those roles, but it's not a definition of who we are. But we have to dissolve first. We have to break free and detach from the ego thinking that this is who we are. And when we break that, when we dissolve, when we surrender into that knowing that we are all one, that we all are part of and will return to, then we can play and enjoy life a little freer, because you're just playing the role and you're wearing the hat and you know it, and it's okay if the hat falls off, and it's okay if the hat breaks. You're still okay because you know that you're not that person with the hat on anyways. You might have feelings, and that's totally normal because we're human, right? But it won't destroy you, or it won't feel so destructive in your being. You know that you're way more than that. Okay, pretty deep, right? That's okay. That's what we're here doing. I love it. I love you listening, and I appreciate it, and I love the messages coming through. They feel really powerful and centered, and I'm super grateful. So I am going to pull a crystal card still, because I love the crystal cards, and they're just fun. Let's see if there's a crystal we want to play with this week. Silver. That's kind of nice. You'll probably have some silver somewhere. Release. Amplification. Awesome. Perfect, right? We're releasing, we're dissolving, we're amplifying into creation, and we're realizing that we are all one. Meditate on that. Meditate on the dissolving and see what is brought up, and we're just allowing it to move. Okay. All right. I hope you have an amazing week, and I can't wait to see you next week.